This is Scott Becker with the Becker Private Equity Podcast. The markets point up, plus 14 other stories we're following today. It's October 30th, 2023. How's that drama for the title? The market's up, plus 14 other stories. Again, if you listen to this all the way through and can give me the tag word we use at the end, and text me at 773-766-5322, we'll shoot you a $100 Amazon gift certificate. But you got to be the first person. You got to do it today. And then you've also got to make sure you're not somebody who's collected a gift certificate anywhere near in the most recent past. So thank you very, very much. So here's the stories we're following today. First, as I said earlier, the markets point up. They're up 0.5% to 1%. It's still early in the day. We never know if these will stick or not, so we'll see if that sticks. Second, and connected to this, McDonald's beat its earnings estimate. So for all the talk about McDonald's, still a lot of people buying Happy Meals, eating McDonald's, healthy or not healthy. A lot of people still loving it. That's McDonald's. Third, plenty of concern regarding Apple releasing their earnings this week. Apple's still up 30% year to date, so that's fantastic, but plenty of concerns regarding iPhone sales. Fourth, the NASDAQ remains up 21%, 21.72% so far this year. It's likely to be up a little bit further after today if today stays healthy. Fifth, the S&P 500 remains up 7.67% year to date. Again, the Wolf of Wall Street has a great quote in a Yahoo Finance article about why buying the index and not buying individual stocks is the right way to go for almost all of us. We have a separate podcast on this today. We couldn't agree more with that concept. Unless you've got inside information, which you should not be trading on, you probably shouldn't be buying individual stocks versus the index. Sixth, it's the NASDAQ and the S&P have fallen back more than 10% since their most recent highs. So that's a correction, but hopefully moving in the right direction today. We'll see how that goes. A lot of world problems and challenges. Seventh, Bitcoin is up more than 100% year to date. It opened today about 34,500. It's up a little bit further. Eighth, the Fed meets this week and is widely expected to hold interest rates steady. They've raised rates a huge amount this year over the last couple of years. They've also got to sell. The Treasury's got to sell a crazy amount of debt to try and keep the government afloat, a crazy amount that's coming due that they've got to reissue. There's an article about President Trump having a drastic plan to cut the deficit and cut the government spending. Of course, I'm a fan of that, but I also realize that he did nothing like that in his initial term in office. So, but whether Trump or Biden, somehow or another, we're going to have to cut that deficit some. 9, great article by Brian Socci, and we talk about this in a separate podcast, on how high interest rates are starting to put a real challenge on corporate America. Corporate America going slower on hiring, going slower on big capital projects, going slower on M&A, and moving more and more to trying to pay down some debt. Also, a great article in the Telegraph, why the world is drowning in debt again. 10th, cannabis stocks, again, one of our favorite vices to watch, are getting killed again. They're down about 33% year to date. 11th, Amazon reported great results last week. They're up 52% year to date. 12th, Tesla is up 68% year to date, but you have to remember, not long ago, they were up more than 100% year to date, so that softened it some. 13th, I just finished a book called Black Edge about Stephen A. Cohen and insider trading. Fascinating book. Stephen A. Cohen, of course, famously paid almost $2 billion in fines, but still rich as can be and owns the Mets. The book is by Sheila Kolhatkar, and it's absolutely brilliant. So if you haven't read that, please do it. 14th, I said earlier, I need a new nonfiction or fiction book to read, and I appreciate all the suggestions I got, at least a couple great ones. And finally, 15th, super excited for the Becker's Healthcare CEO, CFO Roundtable coming up November 13th to 16th. We've got magnificent leaders speaking, everybody from like Kevin Mahoney, the CEO of Penn Medicine, to people like George and Laura Bush, the former president, and a whole lot more. Can't wait for that meeting. Again, if you are the first one to listen to this, you text me, 773-766-5322. You remind me about Kevin Mahoney speaking at the annual meeting, the president of CEO of Penn Medicine. I'll send you a $100 gift certificate. Again, you can't be somebody who's claimed the gift certificate anywhere in the near future. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity Podcast, and thank you to the remarkable Chanel Bunger, our producer today. Thank you very much.